Hi, I'm Jordia Benjamin, Merkin's Senior Coordinator of Programs and Audience Engagement at the Colby College Museum of Art in Waterville, Maine. And this is Artful Movements. Artful Movements is a part of the museum's wellness initiative under the larger program, Let Art Inspire. In this program, we select a work of art from our collection and we pair it with a yoga pose. Now, before we dive into the yoga portion of this program, let's first visit the artwork that has inspired this month's theme, Time to Let Go. Today, we look at the work of Martin Puryear, Up and Over 2014. Martin Puryear was born in 1941 in Washington, D.C. He currently lives and works in upstate New York. He received his Bachelor's of Art at the Catholic University in Washington in 1963. He also attended the Royal Swedish Academy of Arts in Stockholm in 1961 to 1968 and received his Master's of Fine Art in 1971 at Yale University. In the 1960s, he volunteered with the Peace Corps in West Africa, where he educated himself in the region's indigenous crafts. He received his first one-person exhibition in 1968, and since then, he has exhibited throughout the world, including public commissions in Europe, Asia, and the United States. He represented the United States at the 1989 Biennale de São Paulo, where he was awarded the festival's grand prize, and his work was featured in Documenta in 1992. In 2007, MoMA organized a survey of his work, which traveled to the National Gallery of Art in Washington, the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, and the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth. In 2015, the Art Institute of Chicago organized an exhibition of 50 years of his works on paper, which traveled to the Morgan Library and Museum in New York and the Smithsonian American Art Museum in Washington. He received the MacArthur Foundation Award in 1989, the National Medal of Arts from President Obama in 2011, and in 2019 represented the United States at the 58th Venice Biennale. Puryear's abstract organic forms are rich with psychological and intellectual references that explores issues of ethnicity, culture, and history. Puryear's sculpture, made by hand with labor-intensive methods, often requiring months to complete. His techniques, developed over a 50-year career, combine practices adapted from many different traditions, including wood carving and, most recently, digital technology. Up and Over 2014 was exhibited at the Matthew Marks Gallery in 2015. The exhibition included works inspired by the form of the Fijian cap, or Liberty Cap, which was worn as a sign of resistance during the French Revolution and adopted as a symbol of liberty during the American Revolution. In the exhibition press release, Puryear explains, "Although I was certainly aware of the numerous depictions of this cap in European and early American art when I began to work on the big Fijian sculpture, I only discovered the engraved image of the black man wearing the red Fijian cap years after." This engraving is accompanied by the caption "Moi Nibirusi," I am free too, and dates from 1794, the year slavery was first abolished in France, only to be restored 8 years later by Napoleon Bonaparte and finally abolished permanently in 1848. Downward Facing Dog. is the poster pose for yoga. The reason it has become the best known asana is because it is so important in contemporary practice. It may be the very first pose you learn as you begin a yoga practice. It has done many times during most yoga classes, particularly in Vipassana yoga. It acts as a traditional pose and can be a resting position. Downward dog is one of the poses in the sun salutation sequence. The benefits of downward facing dog are stretches the hamstrings and calves. It also strengthens the arms, legs, and back. It can also help relieve back pain. As a mild inversion, it acts in reverse of the usual forces on your spine and brings more blood flow to the brain. The pose also strengthens the deep abdominal muscles that help stabilize the spine. Downward facing dog has a similar form to the sculpture up and over. Up and over promotes the viewer to reconsider the significance of the Fijian cap and, more broadly, issues pertaining to liberty, namely its history and social cultural development. Now, let's visit our partners at School Street Yoga who will lead us in our yoga practice.
Welcome to School Street Yoga. I'm Kathleen Haberstock, and thank you so much to Colby College and the museum at Colby College for hosting this. And you've just been looking at a cast iron sculpture, and we're going to be making shapes with our body that are very similar to the sculpture, rounding our backs and finding also downward dog, lengthening through our backs. But before we do that, we're going to go inward for a moment. So just allow yourself to find a comfortable seat. And you might find a blanket to sit on or a block, if you've got a yoga block or even a thick book. It can be good to have your hips a little higher than your knees. So get yourself situated and comfortable. And if sitting cross-legged does not work for you, you're welcome to sit in a chair as well. Just be at the edge of the chair and have your feet flat to the floor. And then just go ahead and close your eyes or gaze to the floor and begin to get in touch with your breath. Noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale. So our theme today is about letting go. What can you let go of that might no longer be serving you? This time of year, the trees, we see them everywhere, the deciduous trees beginning to lose their leaves, first changing color and then falling to the ground. And we at this time of year can find what no longer works for us in our lives, perhaps habits, things that we're ready to let go of. So begin as you go inward, noticing your breath, noticing your, perhaps even your heartbeat as you go inward. Just beginning to contemplate what you might be able to let go of in your life that no longer serves you. And as you continue focusing inward, I'm going to read you a poem by Dana Falls. It's called Allow. There is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt, containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow, and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in, the wild with the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and success. When loss rips off the doors of the heart, or sadness veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. And as you continue focusing on the breath, the exhale is a wonderful place to begin letting go. So deepen the exhale. Allow it to lengthen. Each exhale is a new opportunity to let go. Three more big breaths here, extending your exhales fully. And then drawing your palm against palm at heart center, feel the beating of your heart beneath your thumbs. What no longer serves you? What can you let go of? Big inhale through the nose now. Hold it at the top. And then let it go out the mouth. Two more like that. Big inhale. Hold at the top and then let it go out the mouth. One more like that. Let it go. Slowly allow the eyes to open. We're going to find our way now onto hands and knees. And you may want a blanket under your knees. So we'll make our way onto hands and knees now. And if you have yoga blocks, you can bring them to either side of the front of your mat. So we'll find hands and knees. And you might want a blanket under the knees if that's helpful at all. So knees under hips and wrists under shoulders. And we'll pull the heart forward on an inhale into cow pose, and exhale round the spine into cat. And just follow your own breath a few times. Pushing the floor away when you're in cat, pulling on the floor as you come into cow. And coming to neutral in your own time, we're going to lift the right knee out to the side and we're going to just roll it. Roll the knee one way and then roll it the other way. And then lifting that knee out to the side, we're going to bring the knee to the elbow. Inhale. Exhale, bring that right foot to the left, any amount, and look over your left shoulder. Inhale, bringing the knee forward. Exhale, reaching it long and looking. One more like that. And just be here for a moment looking over the shoulder. Now we're going to tuck that back knee in. So now both knees are tucked into each other, feet are out to the side. And then you're just going to reach the hips back a little. Hands stay on the mat. And breathe into the back body. And then rocking forward, undo the legs. And pause at center for a moment, and then we'll come to the other side. So lifting that left knee out to the side and rolling the knee. How high can you get it? How close to the elbow? And then roll it the other way. And then bring the knee to the elbow. Inhale. Exhale, reach the foot out to the side. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, reach it long. One more like that. Reaching it long, reach through the foot, look over the shoulder, breathe. And then tucking that knee behind the front knee, fanning the feet out to the side, and then just reach the hips back. Hands stay on the mat. Breathe into that. Coming back up to center, uncross the legs. Now we're going to bring the knees wide and the big toes to touch and sink the hips back. Walk the hands forward, child's pose. Breathing here. Feeling the length of the spine, the rounding of the spine. 3 breaths. And then big inhale through the nose, let it go out the mouth. 2 more like that. One more. What can you let go of? What is no longer serving you? Now, before we come into downward dog, I want to give a couple of options. If there's any wrist injuries at all, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog, can be hard on the wrists. So one option is to have forearms down on the ground, and I'll just show you that first. So forearms can be down on the ground, and you can come into forearm dog. You can measure out your elbows, and then bring your hands down, and then lift your hips and breathe there in forearm dog. So this isn't putting much weight on the wrists at all, but it is a challenging pose. You're opening your shoulders, strength building. Couple more breaths there. And then lower the knees. So if that doesn't work for you, another option is puppy pose. So in puppy pose, we walk the hands forward, we release the forehead down towards the mat, but instead of sinking the hips back towards the heels, the hips are in the air. So let your forehead come to the mat, walking hands forward, and breathe here. Puppy pose. Downward dog, we're going to press the hands into the mat. So you can always stay in puppy or child's pose if this isn't for you. Otherwise, we're going to tuck the toes and make sure the knees are in line with the hips now. And then pressing into the hands, we're going to lift the hips. We can pedal out the feet, bending one knee, bending the other. Heels are reaching towards the mat, but they don't need to reach to the mat. You can lift your toes. Breathe here. And then for a moment, bend your knees and stick the sits bones even more to the sky and come up on your tiptoes like you're wearing high heels. And think about the inner thighs rolling back. And then from there, straighten through the legs and lower the heels any amount. One more big inhale here, exhale out the mouth. Now we'll bring big toes to touch, and we'll lift the right leg. And we'll stack the right hip on top of the left and bend the right knee. And then bring the right knee forward and step the foot between your hands. Go ahead and drop the back knee down and sink the hips forward and press yourself up to that front knee. So any amount hips are sinking forward. Press into the top of the back foot. And then we'll lift the arms up. Lowering the hands to the mat, we're going to step it back. So tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then step it right back to downward dog. You're welcome to come to child's pose instead. Pressing hands into the mat, finding space in the armpits. And then bring the big toes to touch, please, and lift the left leg and bend the left knee towards the ceiling. And then we'll step that left foot between the hands. Give it a helping hand if it needs it. Drop the back knee down and press yourself up. Sinking hips forward any amount, and then lift through the arms. Crescent moon pose. You might lift through the heart, lift through the chest. Lowering the hands down, tuck the back toes. This time we'll step it forward and hang over the legs. You can grab opposite elbows. Have a nice hang. And then let your arms go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach to the sky, look to the sky, little back bend. Exhale, palms to heart center. And just pause here in your Tadasana. Feel crown of the head reaching upward any amount. For a moment, shrug your shoulders up to your ears, and then exhale them down your back. What can you let go of? What is no longer serving you? Now we're going to inhale and reach the arms up once again. So inhale, lift the arms, little back bend. Exhale, dive over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step, step back to down dog. And then inhale forward to plank pose. There are lots of options here, but we're going to drop the knees, chest and chin. So chest and chin come down, hips stay in the air, and then scrub through a baby cobra. Inhale. Exhale, press back to down dog. Three big breaths there. And then go ahead and drop your knees to the mat wide and sink back into a child's pose. Feel all that length in the spine. Imagine you could breathe into the kidneys, ballooning them up with air. And now we'll find our way to hands and knees once again. So now you're back on hands and knees, and you may find that a block is helpful for this pose. So a book, a thick book, or a block. You can also use a pillow or a blanket. And you may find you don't need it if you're flexible in this way, but have it nearby in case you need it. We'll take the right leg forward and bring the right knee over the left knee. And fan your feet out to the sides. And then go ahead and grab that book or block or pillow and bring it behind you and sit down. And you'll find quickly if it works for you. If it doesn't work, you can always straighten that bottom leg, and that bottom leg can be straight out in front of you. Especially if it's hurting your knees, please come out of it. And then just allow yourself to settle, whether the bottom leg is straight or bent. You might bring your hands to your feet, feel a grounding down as the crown of the head lifts upward. And then we're just going to fold forward. And once again, you're making that kind of rounded shape with your back, similar to the sculpture.
So just breathing into the back body. Very calming to the nervous system to imagine breathing into the kidneys at the lower back. A few breaths here. And then slowly press your way up. And we're going to twist now to the right. So left hand on the leg, right hand behind you, either to the floor or to the lower back. And chin can be over the back shoulder, but then you might inhale it over the front shoulder and then exhale it over the back shoulder. A couple more times like that. Next time your chin is over the back shoulder, just releasing that twist, coming back to center. Now we're going to do a little breath work, pranayama. So take your peace fingers and either bring them to your center of your eyebrows and your fingers fall on either side, thumb on one side, fingers on the other, or you're going to tuck your peace fingers in and make almost like a little lobster claw. So either way works, whatever feels right to you. And then just gently close off your right nostril, and inhale left. And then we're exhaling right. This is alternate nostril breathing. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale right. Maybe lengthening the exhale. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale right. Continuing that on your own, switching after the inhale. And you might pause for a moment before you exhale on the opposite side. Next time you're exhaling through the left nostril, no rush to get there, but just let your hand go and notice the effects, if any. This breath work can be very calming for the nervous system. It can also make you a little more alert, your mind a little more alert. So just noticing what it did for you. And then we're going to come forward. So rock forward, putting your hands on the mat, and just go ahead and uncross that back leg, and we're going to cross it forward now. So the left knee goes in front. Fan the feet out, sit yourself back down. And this side might be different. So if you find on this side it's not working for you, you're welcome to straighten that bottom leg. Or sit up higher on something. And then just breathing here for a moment, feeling the length of the spine. And then we'll fold forward again. So allow your hands to come to the mat, folding forward, let your head go, breathing here. Could you feel the breath in the back body? Slowly walk yourself back up. And we're going to twist now to the left. Right hand across the leg, left hand to the lower back or the floor. And again, chin moving forward on the inhale. Exhale the chin back. In your own time, one more time like that. Untwisting, coming back to center. Now we're going to do alternate nostril breathing one more time. So either peace fingers between the eyebrows or tuck them in. Make sure that your neck isn't doing anything strange as you hug that elbow in. And then inhale through the left nostril. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Eyes could be closed or gaze to the floor. Inhale left. Exhale right. Continue on your own now. Switching after the inhale. And you might pause before you exhale on the other side. Next time you're exhaling through the left nostril, no rush to get there, but let the hand go. Notice what you've done. Just notice any effects. And then we're just going to find our way to a comfortable seat. So coming forward, uncrossing the legs, sitting back on a blanket perhaps. Finding your way down. Alternate nostril breath is great to do before meditation. So we'll just pause here for a few moments. Again, you might contemplate what in your life no longer serves you. What could you let go of? Eyes can close or gaze to the floor. Perhaps palms are open on your legs, on your thighs, signifying the openness of that letting go. As we allow ourselves to let go, we're then open to receive. Thoughts will come into your mind. That's what our minds do. But can you just let the thought go? You might label it thinking. Come back to the breath. Notice the inhale, notice the exhale. Maybe lengthen the exhale. Can you allow yourself to be present in this moment? And in order to do that, you have to let go of the previous moment. To be present here and now. Thoughts will come into your mind. They always do. But can you just gently draw your focus back to the breath? Letting go of that thought, not following it. On your next exhale, letting that go. Drawing palm against palm into heart center. Feel the beating of your own heart. As you continue pressing palm into palm, I'm going to read you another short poem by Dana Falls called Let It Go. Let go of the ways you thought life would unfold, the holding of plans or dreams or expectations. Let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days, whether you receive it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanation that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go, and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it all go and find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation. Please bow your head to your heart. Honor your practice today. Honor that you showed up on your mat. And know that any bit of practice bears fruit. So you're taking this out into your week, and perhaps you have a little more space within you, having let something go. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go out the mouth. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Hope to see you all sometime at School Street Yoga. And thank you again to Colby College and Colby Art Museum.
I hope you have enjoyed today's program. And if you would like to spend a little bit more time with this artwork, I encourage you to participate in 2 upcoming programs, Artful Meditation and Artful Healing. Be sure to like and follow us on all of our social media accounts at Colby Museum, and visit us on our website colby.edu/museum to stay updated on all of our upcoming digital museum at home programs. And like always, from our museum home to yours, take care, and I'll see you next month.